Being a content creator, whether it be on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or any other platform, can be a lot of fun. However, it can also be a lot of work. As a content creator on YouTube, I'm writing my videos, recording them, spending hours shooting B-roll, and editing them. One of the most difficult parts I found with all of this is filming myself. In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've learned along the way that helped make it an easier process. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out this week's video. In this one, I'm going to be shifting gears a little bit from photography to video because I feel like in today's day and age, content creators are required more and more to shoot video of themselves, which can be quite challenging. I'm not going to be getting into discussing gear with the exception of one piece of equipment because I feel like everybody's needs are going to be different depending on what they're creating and what their niche is. Anyways, let's get started. First and foremost, if you're going to be filming by yourself, chances are you're mainly going to be getting static shots. So it's important that you get creative with them. There's no camera movement to keep things interesting, so you need to get creative with the composition and lighting that you use. It will help make your video far more compelling and keep the audience's attention longer. Also, focusing on getting a wide variety of shots will help keep your video from feeling too repetitive. You don't just want to shoot random things, but try to get footage that's relevant to what you're talking about in your video. For example, in my video where I was talking about the importance of angles, I was shooting the same subject in the same place, just with an emphasis on the different angles and composition that I could get with the camera. Think about how your shot can reflect what you're talking about in your video, even if it's in an abstract or metaphorical way, and aim to achieve that. Being that we're shooting statically and don't have any camera movement, we can add some movement in post, like some slow zooms in or out, just to bring some diversity to the footage and emphasize certain things. On the subject of static shots, one thing I quickly want to recommend is to get yourself a decent tripod. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy or expensive, but chances are you're going to be shooting in various locations on varying terrain, so it's a good peace of mind to know that your expensive camera gear is sitting on a sturdy tripod and not just some cheap $50 tripod off Amazon. Another really important thing to help you create better video is to try and tell a story with your footage. Getting environmental shots and using a mix of wide angles, medium shots, close-ups, detail shots, unique perspectives, and so on can all come together to establish a sense of where you are for the viewer and tell a bigger story. And we all know how captivating a good story can be. It takes a lot of time, but it's worth it. And if you don't have a ton of time, at least focus on getting a wide angle and a close-up of your shots. Going from a wide to a close-up of the same thing can flow really nicely together, and even if you don't use both shots, it's nice to have options. In regards to trying to tell a story with your footage, for many of us, we're going to be shooting where we live. And when trying to tell a story with our footage, we may feel a little uninspired by our surroundings. It's easy to feel like where we live isn't that interesting, but try and see it from the perspective of somebody who doesn't live there. For me, I'm surrounded by nature and water, so shooting with that kind of stuff just feels very ordinary to me. However, I've got photographer friends who live in concrete jungles that love my photos and say they wish they had more nature to shoot with. And conversely, every time I'm in a big city, everywhere I look I feel like is a great spot for a shot. Remember that your surroundings only feel ordinary to you because you're really comfortable in them, and other people might find it to be a really unique and interesting place. Another thing I want to emphasize is the importance of shooting more footage than you think you need. Even when I feel like I've shot plenty of footage, oftentimes I'll sit down at the computer and realize that I don't have enough. Even something as simple as taking an extra few minutes to grab a shot of the grass or trees blowing in the wind, waves hitting the shore, or something else in your environment that you can use along with the shots of yourself can help establish where you are, what time it is, that sort of thing. It's going to take a lot longer to get all of the footage, but having a large catalog of options to help you paint a bigger picture of the message you're trying to get across will save you a lot of frustration when you're editing and will make your video that much more interesting. Lastly, we're going to talk about light. Light is the most important part of your footage, so if you're relying on natural light, it's worth it to wait for the right time of day or the right weather to get your shot. We can't always control where our light source is coming from, but we can always control where we position ourselves and our camera. Moving the camera can have a big impact on how your shot looks, so keep in mind how the light is going to be hitting you and try to position the camera in a way that allows you to see that light from the best possible angle. Typically, for a more cinematic look, you want to be shooting from the shadow side of the face. That's it for this week's video. I hope that at least something in here helps you because personally, I find that filming myself is something that I struggle with. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already because I'm back almost every Monday with another video. Keep on creating and I'll see you next time. Hard cut.